Here we are at Dr. Wily, stage number 3, in what is probably the worst stage of the game. Beat the Bird is telling us to go down, so we're going to go down. Down, doobie down, down, doobie down, down. And basically, the way to get through this area is just dodging, or you could pull out the Thunder Beam and try to kill all the enemies in one hit, which looks cool. But yeah, it's basically just dodging these enemies over and over again. As you can see, we do this multiple times through multiple screens. Nothing's really that different besides the particular physics of each screen and the placement of the enemies. But besides that, nothing else to the stage. Sure, we have this area where it's all watery and stuff. And we have penguins, but you can just sit and hold on the X button to constantly fire to destroy these penguins. And what should happen is that the penguins will refill your life with health pellets, so it doesn't matter that you took damage dodging the Suzies and the other enemies you dodged earlier on in the level. So yeah, overall, pretty boring, not much to this stage. If you try to run to the right, you might run into those enemies. So don't run to the right, just stand in place and hit the X button constantly. And you should be done with the stage before you know it. I think they should have tried something different. Maybe they should have switched it up a little bit. Thrown in one of those robot masters you already fought in this stage. You know, the previous stage had 2 robot masters. Why not throw in 2 robot masters here? Instead, what we have is the bubble boss. Clearly, Dr. Wily is working on experimentation before he finishes his designs for Bubble Man. You just need to shoot the boss. The boss is going to come out depending on where you are. As you can see, the boss is kind of chasing after Mega Man. I'm going to die here and fight the boss for real. But there are 4 or 5 or 6 or so different versions of the boss. As you can see, 6 different bubble things of the boss come out. And you might have noticed we have a bunch of Gutsman blocks over here. You can throw the blocks at the bubbles and they're one-hit kills. But I'm going to save that for later because, as you'll notice, the boss gets progressively faster. That is, the first bubbles are slow, and then the bubbles that come after are moving a little bit faster. So by the time you reach the last one, it's zooming across the screen. Okay, now I'm going to use the super arm. Bam! 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 Oh, excellent timing. Check that out. See if you can duplicate that on your own. Mega Man is no longer on the screen because of my excellent timing with hitting the boss. Okay, not really, that's just a glitch, but it looks cool, so I'm going to pretend that I did it on purpose. Here we have the green monster alien enemies, which I don't like. The ones from Electman's stage, which caused me so much trouble. Ooh, hey! Energy upgrade. Let me get it. Wait, what? Huh? It's defying the rules of gravity! Somebody needs to call Gravity Man. And here we have the Hall of Gutsman blocks to create a low ceiling to make it hard to get through this area and defeat these particular enemies. The Elect Beam is your best weapon here, mainly because it can attack the enemies from far off. And here we have another one of those, oh joy, it's one of those platforms from Gutsman's stage. As Navi says, use the magnet beam. See, Navi's not always useless. Navi is actually rather helpful. And this red item here, is the Yasichi, which refills all your weapons energy. Generally, when I want to refill all my weapons energy, I just die 5 times and get a continue. You want lots of weapons energy, however, because you're going to be fighting 4 bosses in a row, starting with Bomb Man. I'm not going to use special weapons during this fight just to show you how difficult this challenge is, because next we have the most difficult boss of them all, in my opinion at least, Fireman. Really hard to fight him and, dodge all of his attacks. So that's why I'm going to have to use special weapons in order to take him down. And I wasn't going into the fight with Bomb Man at full health, which is why I decided to start over by dying. I'm going to need every bit of health I can get in order to make it through this challenge. Fortunately, Bomb Man is very simple. Fireman, not so much. Even with his special weapon, he can take you down to about half health. No, pretty much easily. I got super lucky here, he only took me down by 1/4 health. I have absolutely no idea how this happened. The other 10 times I tried to get through this boss cycle. Yes, it took me 10 times to get through this. I cut all those failures out of the video walkthrough. The other 10 times I did it, I was down to 1/4 of health after fighting Fireman. So, I was so lucky this time, there's basically no way I can fail this challenge because I have so much health going into the final boss fight against Gutsman. Plus I'm dodging all of his attacks, which is also useful. Iceman, as you saw earlier, Iceman is not that difficult once you have his weakness, just fire constantly and just make that one jump to get past Iceman. And that is the end of all the bosses. Only one person left to fight, and his name is Dr. Wily.